What if the pressure is what's producing the pearl? Then if God takes the pressure off, then the pearl doesn't complete its process. And so what God is starting in us never gets to come to completion. That's the problem. We never, a lot of times, allow God to finish what He started in us because we get distracted. We lose our focus. And what God started, He can't finish, at least not when He wants to, and He is delayed. The pressure you're praying against may be the process that God is using. So just hold on a minute. Just slow down a minute. Say, God, I don't understand it, because you may not understand it. God, I don't understand it, but I want to know that you're in it, because if it's you, then I don't want you to relieve the pressure till it's time for you to relieve the pressure. Because if it happens too early, we're going to be right back in that same valley at some point, because we're going to have to pass that test. And I don't want to have to go back through it again, Brother Clayton. If I've already completed half the process or 3/4 of the process, I don't want God to stall it out right here and let the pressure off, because I got to start back at square one. I want to make sure that if it's God and I'm 3/4 of the way through, God, just give me the strength. Just hang on. I'm going to hold on. The pressure's a little rough. It's a little bit tight right now, God, but I want you to complete it. Can I tell you, I want God to complete the process of the pearl within my spirit. I don't want Him to stop until He completes it. We want microwave miracles. God's working with slow-cooked transformations. Don't run from pressure if God's in it, because anything God produces will be worth the pressure required to produce it. Pig pens are loud. Anybody ever been around a pig pen? I'm talking about a pig pen. Hogs. Pig pens are loud. They're snorting and oinking and bumping into each other and slopping around. It's loud. It's noisy in a pig pen. Always something going on. Always chaos. Always distraction. Noise. But process is quiet. He said, do not cast your pearl before swine. Distraction. Noise. That's what the pig pen reveals. But pearl formation, silent. You ever known people that can't operate unless there's chaos? And they'll be the first ones to say, oh, I don't do drama. Right beside the word drama in the dictionary is their picture. If somebody tells you, oh, I don't do drama, get ready. They are the drama queen from way back. Hear me. Always something, got something stirred up. Have you heard? Did you know? Always distraction, but pearl formation, quiet. This is my third church to pastor. This is my last church to pastor. If y'all run me off, I'm done. I'm done. I'll go sell pencils on a street corner or something. I'm done. But I've learned that when you're the new kid on the block and you're the new pastor. Now this coming here was a little better. It was a little easier. I was around a little bit beforehand and got to know some folks, and it was a smooth process. But normally when you come in, you try out for a church and you preach, and you've got the strength of maybe 1 or 2 services, and this congregation has to rely on that, and they vote and whatever the case may be. And so I learned that the people that just eat you up to begin with, really will eat you up. And the ones that reserve their opinion, don't know if they like you yet or not, that's the ones that'll be your biggest support. Because the production of pearls is quiet. There's no drama. It's just way down deep in the water, that pearl. Just one little grain of sand finds its way in there. It's an irritant, and it begins to form that solution around that irritant. And over time, the pearl is produced, and there is not one sound. Think about that for a minute. The chaos, the distraction, the noise, the oinking, the snorting. It's nothing but distraction. And God said in our text, do not throw your treasure in front of stuff like that. Don't get involved in the drama. Don't get involved in the noise. You know what'll stop it? I'm not on gossip tonight, but I can't pass this up. It's too good of an opportunity. Yeah, just stand back behind me, Brother Brian. Just hang tight. You know how to stop it? If they'll come to you with that have you heard or do you know or start talking about somebody, grab them by the hand and say, brother or sister, let's just go down here and pray about it. Let's go right down here. They don't want to pray about it. They want the noise. They don't want the silence. They want the chaos. They want the distraction. But that is nothing but a trick of the enemy. I've been in a few scuffles in my lifetime, a few fights through my years, and I have won a few and I've lost a few. But I do know what I found out. Those ones that's always running their mouth, I ain't afraid of none of them. But that guy that don't say nothing, he just got a certain look in his eye. You better leave him alone. I want this church to be that one that's just over in the corner. Got a certain look in your eye. And I don't want the devil to mess with it. I want him to know that we're not going to take our treasure and prostitute it by throwing it before swine and putting it in a place where it doesn't belong. Do you realize the contrast of a pearl in a hog pen? Jesus did this on purpose. He wanted people that he was talking to understand that there was diversity there that shouldn't be there. He said it doesn't make sense. But yet people do it every day. They take their treasure and they cast it before swine. They put themselves in situations and circumstances that they should never be in, and they are prostituting the treasure that God is trying to build in them. I rebuke delay. I rebuke distraction. I rebuke noise. We're going to just let God produce what He wants to produce in us in the silence of our spirit. Noise attracts attention. But silence produces value. Some people keep leaving the quiet place God called them to because they miss the noise. Some folks don't like silence because they might finally hear God. Or worse, hear themselves. Now be careful you don't trade quiet growth for loud dysfunction. Be careful you don't trade spiritual development for social validation. I want people to like me, I really do. But I don't live for people's approval. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't live for the validation of people. Because the people you're seeking validation from don't care a whit about you. They would turn on you in a heartbeat. So be careful who you seek validation from. God is who really matters. And if you're doing what you can for God, then don't worry about what man thinks. You just keep on doing the right thing. And God is producing a pearl in you in the quiet, dark places of silence. But before long, He's going to reveal that. And He's going to make it open. And people are going to see what God is doing in you. And people are about to see what God's doing in you individually. And people are about to see what God's doing in this church. Because God is not finished. Because like I've told you last night, if it ain't good, it ain't God. And if it ain't good, God's not done. Just because it's loud, don't mean it's right. Some people are addicted to chaos. If it's peaceful, they feel uncomfortable. If it's quiet, they get bored. If nothing's wrong, they start something. God's trying to bring you into peace, but you keep returning to the noise. You keep returning to the snorting and the oinking of the hog pen. And God said, that's not where I want you. God's trying to bring you into peace. You can't hear God clearly if your life is constantly loud. Be still and know that I am God. He wasn't in the earthquake. He wasn't in the whirlwind. Remember the story of the prophet? He wasn't in the fire. The Bible said the prophet kind of hung around a little while and he heard a still, small voice. Contamination slows creation. An oyster has to protect what's inside of it because contamination can ruin the pearl. Spiritually, it's the same. You can't stay in toxic environments. You can't stay around negative voices. Well, that's a good one right there. That's a big one. Be careful. You can't stay connected to people that drain you. I've got some friends. You just take them in small doses. Little ones, little like that. I can spend an hour with some of them. I'm wore slap out. Like I've done spent 12 hours working in the sun. Just wore out, Brother Brian. Because they drain you. I can't spend a lot of time in that environment. So you can't stay connected to draining people and expect healthy spiritual formation. What you allow around you will affect what God produces in you. And the whole goal is for God to produce something in me so that I can be a benefit to those that are around me. Some of us don't need more prayer. We need less chat groups. There's a group, and you have to be a minister to be on it. I'm not going to name it. I've got some friends of mine who say, are you on such and such? Nope. And I'm not going to be. All they get on there to do is debate and argue and fuss, and I ain't got time for all that. It just drains me, wears me out. And I know me. I'd make some folks mad. I'd say some things they didn't want to hear, so I just figured I'd stay off of it. You keep asking God, why am I stuck? And God's saying you're trying to grow a pearl in a pig pen. You cannot grow a pearl in a pig pen. Growth requires separation. Do you know that not all contamination is obvious? Some contamination is subtle. It's not the big sins, it's the small compromises. Remember, it's the small foxes that spoil the vine. We're looking for the big things, but it's the small things that gets us. We know how to avoid the big things. We know that. We can see that. They're like big billboards, but it's those small things that creep in. It's not always what explodes that destroys you. Sometimes it's just what leaks. You know, we're looking for the explosion, that big thing. Sometimes you just got a little drain plug that's not tightened up too good. I had a 100-gallon diesel tank in the back of my diesel truck. Brand new tank. Every time I'd go fill up, the whole bed of my truck just had diesel all in it. I was like, well, if you've ever tried to step up into a truck bed that's got a bed liner on it, it's covered with diesel, you might find yourself with your feet straight up in the air. It's slick. It's not safe. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, my goodness, it's brand new. It must be a weld or something. I went to I knew I didn't spill any diesel. Well, what? Come to find out, the little drain plug wasn't tight. And so it's not the big things. It may be just a little drain plug. So check your drain plug. Check the small things. If your car won't start, don't replace the head gasket. Check the battery first. It's the small things. Conversations that slowly pull you away. Influences that slowly shift your thinking. Habits that slowly drain your discipline. It's never, well, I just woke up today and ruined my life. It's more like I kept ignoring the little things until they turned into big things. Check your environment, because slow leaks will eventually sink strong vessels. So I don't care how strong you are, how long you've been in church. If you're leaking, if your drain plug's not tight. Now I've mentioned this some during the process of this, but not everyone is assigned to you in your season. Everybody can't go where you're going. I told my wife, I told Brother McGuire, the process of revival, we gain a lot, but we lose a few. Everybody's not going to make the trip. We moved next door. Not everybody made the trip from here to there. Huh? And we got this all remodeled. We came back over here, and not everybody made the trip back over here. But in the process of being over there, we gained, we grew. And even though everybody didn't make the trip back over here, we've grown. But understand that everybody can't go where you're going. Not because you're better, but because they're not assigned. Assignment determines access. And some people were good for a season for you. I'm not talking about for God. God wants everybody. I'm talking about for you in the production of the pearl of treasure in your life. Some people were good for a season, helpful for a moment, necessary for that chapter, but they're not meant for your next level because they can't handle it. Some relationships are like old phone chargers. They used to fit, but you got a new phone. Now they don't. My wife's phone is newer than my phone. My phone's got a different charger than her phone. Won't fit. Yeah. So the good thing about that is she can't take my charger. So my iPad and my phone are the same. So I can use the same charger because they're really old. There is grace for every season, but not every person carries grace for every season. Just because they were right then doesn't mean they're right now. If you stay connected out of comfort, you will delay what God is trying to shift. And God is trying to work something in us. And I'm closing. Stop forcing connections that God is quietly disconnecting. If God is removing them, stop re-inviting them. It's kind of like, I didn't to just recently understand the defriending process on Facebook. But there are some folks that have unfriended me. I'm not going to send them a friend request. If they don't want me on their list, I don't want to be on their list. 90% of the people I'm friends with, I don't even know. You think it's going to bother me if one of them unfriends me? But it's kind of that way in life. God's trying to disconnect people from you, and you're trying to re-invite them. And all they're doing is producing noise and chaos in your life. Oinking and snorting around in the slop. Leave them alone. Sister Mandy, you better come on. Don't let noisy things interrupt your formation. Don't let people rush what God is refining. Don't trade your process for popularity and validation. God is making pearls. Stop visiting pig pens. Pearls do not belong in pig pens. Every one of you in this room is a treasure in God's eyes. Don't put that treasure in places it doesn't belong. He said, dogs don't deserve it. Pigs don't deserve it. It's out of character. It's out of place. Have you ever been somewhere you felt like a fifth wheel? You just felt out of place? Get out of there as fast as I can. I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like being out of control either. But I also know that I want God to finish what He started in me, Sister Janet. I want Him to finish it. Brother Fowler, we had a couple good conversations this week. I want God to finish what He started in me. I don't want to thwart the process. I don't want to delay the process. I want to make sure that God has free reign to do what He wants to do to produce the pearl in me. So there are those that produce pearls, pearl producers, and then there's pig pens. And pearls do not belong in pig pens. So make sure that you stay clean, stay in line with God, keep the process moving forward. We're not perfect, but we're keeping the process moving forward. And I want God to complete it. Remember, He does it in silence. He does it in the darkness. But God's doing a work. Don't ever doubt God's doing a work. My God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to church on Wednesday. Can't wait to get to church on Sunday. I can't wait to see who's here. Can't wait to see what God is doing. We got new people every week that's showing up, coming to the house of God, being touched, being blessed, being changed. I want that to continue, don't you? Would you stand to your feet right now? Let's give God some praise. Hallelujah. God, we thank You for what You've done. We thank You for what You've spoken. We're thankful for Your word, oh God. We're thankful for what You're producing in us. Hallelujah. Why don't you come help me around the front? Come join me. Come stand around the front for a moment. Oh yes, come join the people of God. Bid me come up higher. Oh, till Thy face I see. Make me what I ought to be. Oh, yes, make me what I ought to be. Help me to be more like Thee. Bid me come up higher till Thy face I see. Make me what I ought to be. Oh, make me what I ought to be. Help me to be more like Thee. Yes, bid me come up higher. Bid me come up higher. Oh, till Thy Isn't that our prayer?
Make me what